Neener, neener, boo, boo. Like, subscribe, and follow us, and maybe someday I will insult your entire people, too.
Everybody who lives on the island with you.
It's kind of a badge of honor. And if it's a large island, like, say, Asia.
Or Antarctica.
Yeah. Well, Antarctica could be tough. I could insult the penguin. Wait a minute. Are the penguins in Antarctica or the Arctic?
Yes. They're Antarctic. They're penguin. They're
well, then
southern.
Where are the polar bears?
The polar bears are up north.
And what did you say? The Antarctic, which is south.
Yes.
Which is, listen, forget all this. Just like, subscribe, and follow. This is Truly News, please, because my head's hurting and I now have to take narcotics to deal with it.
Right here
like
on the podcast.
Like, subscribe, and follow.
Follow the dinosaur.
There are 2 allergy drugs and a vitamin, so I'm sure I'm. What do you do?
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Anthony Gignac will go down in history as the person who made the stupidest mistake possible.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Is this up for a vote?
Well, let's get to the end of the story and then you tell me.
I just want to hear his last name again.
Gignac. G-I-N-A-C. No,
Yak.
G-I-G-N-A-C.
Yeah. Gignac.
Gignac, yeah.
Gotcha.
This man pretended almost all his life to be a millionaire prince from Dubai and called himself Prince Khalid bin Al Saud. He did this all with a single purpose: to defraud investors. And he did it for a long time. Many folks believed him. In fact, it's estimated he ended up defrauding hundreds of people out of a total of $8 million.
Well,
he had an Instagram account where he showed his luxuries and the way he lived.
Man's got to make a living. I mean, you know.
Well, the guy has to live. However, this facade began to crumble one tragic night when he was trying to invest in a hotel in Miami. Over the course of the negotiations, the hotel owners became suspicious of Gignac when they realized that the man was literally eating bacon. As a result,
hang on.
Yep. Right. As a result, the hotel owners hired a group of private investigators, which drew the attention of the American government and began a federal investigation of Gignac. What they discovered was crime after crime after crime. He's now in the Hooskow. Your call. What do you think?
Can I go back to insulting an island?
Yes, you can.
I don't want to because they'll get crabby then.
By the by, little weather forecast for today.
Yeah.
The high where we live is going to be 2 degrees. That's minus 16.5 degrees Celsius, roughly.
Well, yeah. What are you expecting?
Cold as heck. Well, it really is.
That's one of those dumb sayings. You realize that, right?
What?
Cold as hell. That's a dumb saying.
Right.
Because from everything I've been brought up to believe, the air conditioning would be needed.
Yeah, but a lot of people you believe are idiots.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that part's true. So why wouldn't the other part?
They are idiots. Yes, they are. They're people. And I'm one
by definition.
Yep.
I mean, by definition, people are stupid. Not us, of course. We're idiots.
Right. We're not stupid. We're
I am still looking for that love. She usually does the smaller, more intimate clubs. She's very funny. Guy brings her date brings her home to meet her dad, right?
Yep.
That's so. Do you have your green card? And she said, I looked at him, looked at her, looked at his son, and said, I'm working on it. From then on,
funny.
I was
like
hooked.
her. I like her
hooked.
a lot. Okay, it's your turn.
I don't want to
story. Read the darn story.
So, Colorado Springs, Colorado.
I've been there many times.
Think of goats. Do you think of goats?
Not when I'm in Colorado Springs. I do not.
Thank you. City Council and Mayor John Suthers are on opposite sides of a 5-month Battle Royal. No, I'm embellishing. Basically, they're taking opposite stands on a 5-month pause on enforcing the city's ordinance regarding the ownership of goats and other hoofed animals.
What's going on?
I mean, if you think you can get by sneaking a cow in there, ain't gonna work either, dude.
That's just a little cow.
A couple of council peoples, Randy Helms and Nancy Henjum, presented a moratorium on the ordinance.
Okay.
Which is based on public health guidelines. Oh, yeah, those.
Yeah.
That limits a household or dwelling to a maximum of 2 hoofed animals. See, I would change that. If they
and
can
your mother-in-law doesn't count.
If they can be... There's a special place in hell for son-in-laws like you.
Is it cold?
No. But they have windows that don't open.
Ah, there we go.
One of those things, yeah.
Break time's over. Everybody back on your heads.
Helms said, cool. Can I have a golf ball? We don't have any golf balls. What? Helms and Henjum said that an unspecified number of residents wanted the ordinance amended to increase the number of hoofed animals allowed. And the council wants time to study whether that ordinance should be amended. My guess is they're getting pressure from a few people who have, I'm going to guess now, more than 2 hoofed animals. So the mayor, John Suthers, vetoed it. And he had reasons.
Okay, well,
one, he said he believed the city code that limits a household or dwelling to a maximum of 2 hoofed pets is well reasoned. The odor and noise created by such animals, including goats, can be disruptive and annoying to residents in neighborhoods with minimal acreage. You, as bald guy in back.
Question for you.
Sure. Well,
limited to 2 hoofed pets. If you teach the goats to walk on their hind legs,
I'm guessing you'd have 4. Because they're still going to have 4 hooves.
Those are their arms and hands. And how dare you speak of my son's
infirmities?
Thank you for walking right into that.
Hunter S. Hang it. God bless him. The mayor goes on saying, generally such animals belong in more agricultural settings with larger acreage. I assume because the council has chosen to impose the moratorium, that it is seriously considering allowing more than 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, Ordinance 2286 results from people who have willfully violated the city code and are subject to enforcement action by the city. Approaching city council, asking for relief from enforcement of the law they are violating. Hi, I've got 4 animals. Fix it. You ever watch Tucker? There's that kind of feeling. I believe the council's response sets a bad precedent. I like this guy. I'd vote for you for mayor if I, lived in Colorado.
Okay.
But if I ever move anywhere, it's going to be to Britain. So,
oh boy,
they won't know me.
Tell me it's not Liverpool.
Where else would you go? The Beatles are from there.
Patrick, I'll have to hunt you down and
it's been a hard day. Submarine and Yellow Rigby and those things. Anyway. During Tuesday's regular council meetings, members voted 7-1. They overrode the veto. So basically, with 2 people who, one guy, Mike O'Malley, opposed it. Yolanda Avila was absent, and everybody else said, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, fix that with a foghorn, leghorn.
Lucy in the sky with strawberry fields.
Forever, walruses.
Speaking of which.
You're the walrus?
Quora question.
I knew it.
No, Quora question.
Who was the walrus, by the way?
Walrus was Paul.
No, but Paul was dead.
He wasn't really dead. That was just part of the whole hoax.
Well, I don't think so. There was everyone said he had bare feet and he was walking the wrong way. And I believe he was homosexual at that time. And
yeah, things changed. So
they figured it's just better to say he was dead.
Speaking of walruses, if Quora question, if you had point,
yes,
0.000000001 second before your wiener turned into a singing walrus, what would you do?
Open the songbook?
Just
lady, with that amount of time, I couldn't blink. You couldn't take a breath. You couldn't exhale a breath.
Here's one for you and me.
You couldn't thought to think.
How can I function properly without talking to myself?
See, I say that to me all the time.
How are you going to do this?
How? I can't do that. Yes, you can. No, I can't. Listen, if you insult them, they'll just love you all the more.
And
I don't think so.
That's what's
I'm not sure that's how it works.
I'm doing it anyway.
And some of those people are good with, explosives. They were in the service.
Okay.
Sorry.
Why are women's nipples so special that women could show 90% of their breasts, but just not the nipples, or else it would be considered as inappropriate?
Have you been reading Miley Cyrus stuff?
I am.
That's her huge argument.
Is it really?
Men can go topless and we see everything. Women can go topless as long as they cover their nipples. Blah blah blah. So, and there's one of the Marvel actresses too is big into free the nipple.
Okay, fine.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. How come Batman never got nature's call while chasing a criminal during a fight?
Because he went beforehand.
And finally,
Batman always has a plan.
I want to be a good, polite vampire. From where do I start?
Don't get up.
Consent, I think, is what you're looking for.
Have your amanuensis bring it. What are they called again?
The what?
Your amanuensis. Have your familiars just bring them right to you.
Oh, there you go.
It's more of an eat at home kind of thing than take out. It would just be probably.
Yeah. Back to you.
No, sure. I keep thinking if I quit digging the hole.
Yeah, but you never do.
I never do. What is wrong with you?
I've been looking into it.
Us. Okay. No, it's getting deeper.
I know. It looks like really deep now.
I mean, if you look close enough, I believe there are Chinese people at the other end.
I'm standing on top of it and I still have to look up. That's how deep it is, I think.
I'm so short I have to look up to look down, but
Thank you. Now, would you please do your story?
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
You can't make me. Fine. A Florida neighborhood is on. Right now, he's trying to figure out how many ways he can get a terrorist to my house with bomb-making equipment.
You know what's interesting about that is
when Robin's not here. He'll be gone tonight, by the way. There's a away hockey game.
Oh, cool. They're going to be looking for the jogging cows.
The what? Who?
The jogging cows.
No, they're not going to Marshall.
Oh, okay. So
I want to keep the jogging calves, by the way. Once you become a cow, you're not that stupid anymore.
Last Saturday, about halfway through the Vikings football game, I get a note from my brother. Could they play any worse?
Answer being
well,
no.
I waited till the end of the game.
But they couldn't. At that point, they could not play any worse.
And they didn't.
Think of it. They'd given up a special teams touchdown.
Yep.
They'd given up a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
They gave up, of all things, an offensive touchdown to a team that can't score and is not pretty offensive. And a whole raft of freaking field goals.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought is, no. Okay, the only bad part about the first half was the first touchdown the referees took away from us.
Yes. Well, I think the second one was a kind of egregious in my view.
They were. But they both. You're looking at 14 points.
Yep. Would have made a very different game.
Suppose it was in 12 points, but you'd have to take 14 of theirs off.
Yeah, right.
Or 10 of theirs off.
10 of theirs off, probably.
So look at it and go, 10 points there. They're in the 26 range and 14 points over here. It was a blowout. Thanks for keeping it close. Jeff, and Mr. Saturday's done now, I think.
Do you think so?
He made some very questionable.
Yeah.
In the town of in Wales, it's got a lot of letters that.
It's Proto-Hawaiian.
Landudno. There's a town in Wales that has resorted to setting up a task force. Now you got me doing it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
The task force is going to address one of its most pressing problems. Oh, come on, guess.
Laundry.
Marauding goats. Yes.
Is this from Michelle? Is Michelle?
No.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't get to Wales very often.
Okay, very good. That's very nice.
Okay, I can't really say that. Maybe she might. The Kashmiri mountain goats, which normally reside, I would guess, on the Kashmiri mountain, On the Great Orme Headlands near the town, the Great Orme Headlands. Why does it sound like I'm reading something from Thor? Near the
flexing his mighty thews.
He has a thews?
Wow. Thews. I imagine
I have no idea.
His muscled legs.
Could somebody explain to me how whales can have words that have no vowels?
That's why a lot of Brits don't go there.
Moving. Well, that explains a lot about the Brits then, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Here we go again. Let's just go back to the Kashmiri mountain goats, which normally reside on the Great Orme Headland near the town. Got rather bold during the pandemic because, folks weren't moving about much.
Mm-hmm.
So they did. Wandered themselves right into town, eating hedges, sleeping in bus shelters, mixing it up with the supermarket parking lot. I could, if you could make it arena, you could probably sell tickets on the internet, of course. The new task force's main goal is protecting the animals from injury or death.
Yeah, because they're mostly just annoying to humans.
It seems a little side backwards to me.
Okay.
A little bit. Your first in the city should be to make sure your people are happy and healthy, right?
Well, you also
dead.
You don't want them to kill goats.
They're goats. God will make more.
Well, yes, that's true.
Not as many more as rats, for instance. Where was I?
But goats are happier than rats, you can tell.
So when you go to Wales, one of their city councilors, or I don't know, county council, whatever the councilor is, Jeff Stewart said, we should be very proud to have these wonderful animals on our doorstep.
What's the person's first name?
Jeff.
You idiot.
Geoff.
Geoff, you moron.
The goats, by the way, are descendants of Queen Victoria. Oh, I'm sorry. The goats are descendants of those presented to the town by Queen Victoria.
Thank you.
About 100. It can't be 100 years ago. What? People, did you do any math?
Queen Victoria
was what, 1860? 1847. Her reign started in the mid-1800s, ended in the early 1900s.
Yeah. So
what year is it now?
2022.
So you're at least 12 years off.
Oh.
That is not about.
Yeah, it's 58
That's a
years.
lot.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. She died in 19 something.
Yes.
Something. Oh,
58 years ago.
Well, no, it was 58 years ago.
Oh, you're right. I forgot to carry the 2.
You didn't carry the 2?
That's my problem.
Anyway, they weren't actually Queen Victoria's relatives. They were just relatives of the goat she gave him. So let's just cross off ever going to Britain.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.